Well, howdy, y'all. Hope y'all were buckled up and strapped up and ready for this show. It's gonna it's gonna be a biggie tonight. Um, we're gonna depart the plane and find out exactly where we're ending up tonight. Um, as of our last show, we had to we had to dodge some drones and had a little bit of GPS problems and ended up someplace we really didn't want to go, but ended up there anyway.
Right.
So we're gonna get here and let's see exactly where we end up tonight. Cause how scary is that? Oh
Sounds
my!
good to me.
Oh my! Oh my my! Um. Well, from what I can see, I'm gonna tell you all. Does this place look familiar to y'all? No wonder it took us so long to get here. I know exactly where you are, where I am. What do you think, Linda? Do you know where we're at?
I think we're in North Carolina.
We're in North Carolina. We're in Asheville, North Carolina, with the snow on the ground and the people having to live in tents and our government not taking care of them.
Mm,
My, any kind of help that they get, they're depending on us, the people, to give them
right.
the help because they can't. Our government's broke. They can't help the people that pay their salaries,
No,
which is
of course not.
infuriating. Which is infuriating
Right.
because they just put a $1,700 bill they put into Congress that they wanted to pass, which thank you, sweet Jesus, it didn't pass.
Mm-hmm.
That they wanted to give themselves a 40% salary increase. Wow. A 40% salary increase. What do y'all think about that?
Who in the world gets that kind of increase to begin with?
Well,
Who?
my thing is, I just think, I'll be honest with y'all, I don't think they deserve a 10% increase, a 1% increase, because all they do is sit up there, fuss, and fight.
Hi, Sandra.
Yes, you're absolutely, absolutely right. It is a sin. There are people out there that aren't having a
Not
Thanksgiving.
living
They're
like
living
that.
in, they're taking their kids away from them. Okay, it's ridiculous. And they had the nerve.
It is.
And they
Yeah.
had the. Mm-mm-mm. You know, how does
Well,
it, how does that work?
I mean, and here, that's the thing is that they can do this. They can give themselves raises. But what about these people that can't even put a doll or a little Hot Wheel under a tree for their kid for Christmas because they don't have a damn dollar?
Or they don't have a job. And okay, allegedly, conspiracy theory, this was not these people's fault. The odds of this
Right.
hurricane getting as far up into the hills of North Carolina is pretty fishy to me. And if you don't think for one second our government steered that thing up there and demolished that on purpose, I got some swampland I'll sell you in Florida because they did it. They did it. They destroyed these people's lives. And here's the thing. You can lose your house. You can lose your car. You can barely afford to make a living. and they're coming in and they're taking their kids. Now, do you think that they don't think that if we take their kids, maybe they'll just move away so we can have the lithium underneath their property? Come on, y'all. Think. This is exactly what they're after.
Well, yeah, by now everybody should know that Asheville is full of lithium.
Yeah. And they want to just take it from them, steal it from them.
And from what I understand, BlackRock, or maybe I shouldn't say that.
No, you say exactly what you want to because I'm getting ready to say something even more.
BlackRock has a lot to do with it.
Well,
And
okay.
we all know how BlackRock is with the government.
Oh yeah. Well, okay, let's talk about something here. So Diddy is in trial right now or in jail right now for human trafficking and doing his freak off parties, right? And I touched on this. The Freemasons have a secret society. It's kind of like the Illuminati, except it's court off of the Freemasons. It's a
Right.
secret society. Okay,
Right.
it's a secret society, and it's called the Jesters. All right. Nobody knows about the Jesters. Don't talk about the Jesters. While they're taking their tax free, they're tax exempt and going to parties, having parties with hookers and doing ungodly, nasty, horrible things and paying the hookers. I mean, if you want to be a hooker and everything, that's fine. That's up to you. I'm not bad mouthing them. What I am bad mouthing is that we're paying our money in on taxes, and these guys are going on parties and having a good time and having hookers and getting drunk and doing all kinds of nasty things on our dime. Okay,
Yeah.
on our dime. And a lot of these secret jesters, you can't apply to be a jester. They have to ask you. That's how secret it is. They have to ask you if you would like to be a jester.
Right.
All right. So here's the deal, guys. There's a lot of them that stand in Congress on the floor screaming about human trafficking while they go to these parties. It is so bad to human traffic. Is it, Gus, Bill, Riskin? Is it really bad to human traffic while you're a jester and you're up there in these parties and you're a congressman standing there talking about how bad it is?
And who else knows what they're doing?
Well, hello to you, Sandra. Yeah, and they're using and it's on our dollar. It's on our dollar here.
Mhm.
Because I sure the heck can't take money off of my taxes to go to Vegas and go to some Sodom and Gomorrah party.
No. But it's business.
Oh, well, what kind of business are you doing? Is it P. Diddy business? Is it freak off kind of business? I wonder if that's on your taxes. Is that what you write it off to? Freak off business?
Excuse me.
It's disgusting. Our country is headed the wrong road. And I don't care whether you're a Democrat or you're a Republican at this point. We're headed down the wrong road. And if you think with your other side of your head and not the right head and the wrong anatomy, and you could take tax write-offs and have these freak off parties and think just because you're in government as a judge or an attorney or a cop or whatever you are, and you think it's okay, well, it's not okay. It's not okay, because I sure the heck can't take a tax write-off on going to no party.
Right.
While these people in North Carolina live like this.
The worst part about a lot of this, some of these men have daughters.
Oh yeah. So a lot of them have wives. 95% of them are still married.
Well, that's understandable. But when they're going for the younger crowd, let's say it that way, when they're going for the younger crowd, some of them have daughters, and they probably have daughters younger or the same age.
You know what? That's what they think. You know what, Sandra? That's what they think. But you know what? That's not what I think. God didn't make Eve to be Adam's slave. Let's get that straight. Because you know what? Without Eve, there would be no population right now. So let's get that. And I don't care who thinks they can. If you're a man and you think you can have a child, I'm sorry, you're not equipped. You're not equipped. You cannot have a child by yourself. You're not a worm. You might have one, but you're not a worm. So, here's the deal.
No, actually, they're snakes.
Okay, well, see, that's the one that talked Eve into biting the apple. So, we got that all going on. You got Diddy doing his thing, and you got Epstein doing his thing, and now we got the jesters doing their thing. And do you know how long they've been doing that? 102 years. And do you know there's two big prominent people that were jesters? Here, let me tell you who they are. One is President Truman.
Yep.
He was a jester. And so was President Ford. He was a jester.
I could see that with both of them.
Well, I'm sure Obama's probably a jester too. I mean, come on, let's go there. There's a bunch of them that I can see probably being jesters. But I'm just like,
well, I mean,
don't you lead by example? And if you got morals of an alley cat,
if you go back 70, 80, maybe even 90 years, how many of them said they were Freemasons, presidents, vice presidents?
Yeah, they just didn't tell you about the secret society they were.
Right. They just said they were Freemasons.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what
you needed an invitation to join.
There's a story. The Shriners used to be kind of loud, and yes, you're right. You are absolutely right, Sandra. God's going to win this one. I can guarantee you God's going to win this one. He's going to take it over just as quick as the day is long, because he's going to take it over. There's no way they can get away with this anymore. They've been hiding under the radar for too long, and this is the year, just like Cat Williams said. He said this is the year that the truth will come out, and boy, was he right. It's all coming out. It's all coming out.
The problem is you still have the non-believers.
Well, they're stupid.
Well,
no, they're stupid. The Bible was written a long time ago. A long, long, long time ago. And it foretold everything that's going on right now in this day and time. Right now. The Bible says in Ezekiel, or in Isaiah, that Damascus will be torn to ruins. Well, what happened? It was foretold. And nobody believes it.
I'll be right back.
Nobody believes it. Well, you know what? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And if they don't understand it, then they'll be the ones left behind. And sad to say, I'd hate to be one left behind, because it's not too pretty if you're left behind. We're just here to tell them what we're supposed to tell them before we get taken up, and the rest of them are going to live on hell on earth. And, just wait and see. It's not going to be a pretty sight. So if I were you, I would, I'd start asking for forgiveness for the things that I'd said that weren't true, that are true. Because these people need to wake up and smell the coffee. Who knows, your next door neighbor might be a jester and he's watching your grandkids, for Pete's sake. It's disgusting. Or he might be at a P. Diddy party or something gross. This is at a long, big scale. It's not just Epstein. We're finding out it's the jesters, it's P. Diddy, it's Jay-Z, Ellen DeGeneres, degenerate. I want you to say degenerate. It's all these people, and we have sat back and let it happen, and it's been right in our face the whole time. Yeah, yeah. The jesters, the jesters worship the god mirth. Okay, I don't know if you know who the god mirth is, but that's who they worship, and they think it's okay. And in the Bible it says, you should never have no other gods before me. And these people worship a little baby with the devil's tail that's naked. You guys, I can't make all this stuff up. I'm too damn old to make up all this stuff. And look, and it just continues. And it just continues. And it just goes on. And people get away with stuff. And your next door neighbor saying, "Oh, I'm a Freemason. What level are you? 31, 30, 31? Are you a jester? Oh, you are. Is that why you dress in purple?" Then you know what's going on with them. I mean, it's right here in our face, y'all. It's right here in our face, and we're allowing it. So it's time everybody starts telling everybody, hey, you know what? We ain't putting up with this anymore. You leave my kids alone. You leave my grandkids alone. You leave these women alone. Quit trafficking people. Quit. Just get over it. It's over. It's over.
Right.
Like these. How about the deal in Aurora just the other day where the couple got taken and the man got stabbed and the woman got R-worded and they both got pistol whipped. How about that?
Right.
By illegal Venezuelan people. Now, isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? We wouldn't do this to our own, but they can come and do it to us. And you know what the sheriff said? Well, it was property management's fault that owned those apartments because they should have managed it better.
Mm-hmm.
How about that? Not the gang that came in with their guns and took over.
Yeah, but didn't you tell me that he was from California?
Yeah, he was from LA. The new sheriff in town. Yeah.
Yeah.
LA.
That explains it.
Well, it's horrible. It's horrible.
It is horrible. I mean, but that's what I'm saying is that we still got these crazies out there that want to point the blame game to everybody but themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They had a great leader. They had Biden.
Bummer. And no bummer.
They had Obama and Biden. And and look at the vice president we had.
Well, speaking of Biden, he's awful quiet, isn't he? Is he too busy writing checks out to give to other countries of our money? Is that what's going on there? Because I just got late breaking news that you can't retire now. They just increased the retirement age to 70.
No, it's 67 after 1960.
No, they changed it just today. It starts in 2025. For full benefits, we have 70. I mean, that's people my age. Now, I guess if you were born in 1960, you can get it 67. But if you're my age, you can't collect until you're 70.
I'd like to know, like, these people that die young, and there's more and more of them that are dying young. What happens to their Social Security?
Well, the real truth is government's already spent it. So the reason that's why they have to up the Social Security age, because they're hoping the heck that we die before we can ever collect.
And the thing is you're right. They're spending it, but the thing is that there are more men, women, and children working nowadays than there was back when you could retire at 62 with and there was no such thing as full benefits or partial benefits. There was no
Well,
such thing. They just added that in probably maybe 15, 20 years ago. Because
well,
before you retired at my mom retired at 62.
right,
And that was 24 years ago.
right, right,
She got full benefits.
right. And then they
So they
changed
just
it to
changed it.
65.
Yep.
Then they changed 65. Now they've changed it, and then they changed it to 67. Now they've changed it to 70.
Right. Well, you know what? Maybe if they would take all the useless people that are on disability that can't work because they have anxiety. I understand anxiety is a real thing. Okay.
Social disorders. They can't talk to people that have social disorder. Hello, KMM. Welcome aboard.
Um, um, I understand it, and it's a touchy thing, but I just a couple weeks ago I said obesity is not
A disability.
a disability. Having, I'll
Well,
tell you,
how about migraines? My
people
little
work with
girl
those
works,
every day.
my little girl works with migraines all the time, every day. So
Right.
maybe she should get disability. Start now. She's young enough; she could get it forever.
Right.
You know.
And people have been living with asthma, hence me, all of my life, and that didn't stop me from working. Yes, maybe one time I was hospitalized as an adult, and there was other issues, but I went into respiratory failure because of my asthma. But I had a cold that settled in my chest. So it just my asthma just took control. But one time well, I can't say 62 years, one time in 50 years, because I've been working since I was 12. So
Right.
in 52 years, one time I was in the hospital for my asthma. That doesn't make me disabled.
Well, here, let me throw this one out at you. Any of you people that live in California, the red flag just went up just the other day, and it's flying just as proud as a peacock right in front of you. Right in front of you. If you didn't hear it, I'm going to repeat it. Gavin Newsom has just said that he has called for a state of emergency for the people for bird flu. All right, there's been one case of bird flu, and I don't even know what state it was in, but I don't think it was in California, was it? I don't
No,
think so. And
no.
he's already thrown up the red flag saying, you know what? The bird flu, if it comes out, we're going to put everybody in lockdown. Well, King Newsom, get off your pedestal, because you know what? You don't make the laws, and you need to back off. Nobody else is doing it.
But you know what? California will do it.
Oh, because they follow after Newsom. It's ridiculous. It's
They will do it.
ridiculous.
It is.
Washington, you're probably right, Norm. Well, yeah, that's where
Hi,
the bird
Norm.
flu was. That was probably where the bird flu was, because you know what? They probably made it up in Washington. I'm just telling guys, they can't put us in lockdown again. They can't do it. It's ridiculous. They don't have that kind of power. They think they do, but they shouldn't. It's ridiculous. It's too much. And, again, look out your flight window and look what we're looking at in North Carolina.
Yeah, that's what we started off with.
This is where we've landed. We're here in Nashville, North Carolina, and people are living in tents, not for their fault. No, not mind you, not they were living the life just like we are, and they
Right.
were their thing and they were going to work and they were raising their kids and they were minding their own business and they were paying their taxes, and now they're living like this, and our government saying, sorry you guys, we can't help you out because Ukraine needs some more bombs, or Ukraine needs lights, or Ukraine. Okay, well, wait a minute. We don't live in Ukraine.
Right.
We live in the United States of America, and it's always been told, you take care of your own. You take care of your own, because if you don't take care of your own, soon you're going to need help yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then
came in, you know, the reason that they want to take Asheville is because of all the lithium in their ground. They're trying to run them out. They're trying to chase them out. So
they don't want to help. They don't want to help these people. And this is reiterating what we went through a little bit earlier. They don't want to help these people. And there's people that, you know, I see it on Facebook all the time. It's like, does anybody have any gently used toys that they want to part with before, you know, the holidays? Because I can't afford to give my kids Christmas. Because I know when my grandsons were younger, because they're older now and they don't have that much toys, but every year they had to do a purge, and every year they had to give up a bunch of toys before Christmas, and they had to give them away. You know, they gave them to youth centers or some daycare centers or something, you know. And then they want to give themselves 40% raise because they can't.
Oh my God, you just read my mind. You read my mind. I'm over here jumping up and down in my chair. And you're going to give yourself a 40% raise like you don't make enough money. And y'all are doing, I don't care what anyone says, they're over there doing insider trading in the government, because Nancy Pelosi sure didn't become a millionaire, multimillionaire, being whatever she is. I mean,
you do realize that a 40% raise for them is more money than
most people make
medium in America.
Yeah, than a couple makes in America. Yeah. It's about, you got to figure it this way. Their raise is about 85 to 95,000 a year additional to what they're making. How about that, y'all? That's a 40% raise.
My son,
everybody is having it hard, and Asheville's living like this.
Yep. And Earl and Lucy don't make that kind of money.
No, but there's not very many people that do. I mean, there are people that make good money, but then we got people that are living like this in tents, in the snow. And you're coming to take your kids too, by the way, because you know what? That's not a good environment if you live like that to raise a child. So we're going to take your children away because you know what? You're not giving them a good home.
Right.
What? Really? Okay. Let's think about this. Put all this together, guys. You can take somebody's car. They'll figure it out. You could take somebody's pets. They'll figure it out, right? But when you start taking people's children away from them, that's when we've got problems here. And this is why these people will leave Asheville, because you know what? They won't lose their kids. They'll lose everything before they'll lose their kids.
So, in other words, what they're saying is that these people are homeless, and just because you're homeless, you can't raise your child. But I guarantee you a good majority of these people are still going to work every day.
Oh, I can guarantee you they are. And they're trying to do the very best they can out of a bad situation. And
people just don't have 70, 80, 90, 100, $150,000 sitting on hand to build a new home. And when the insurance companies are giving you guff just as bad as FEMA and the government, what the hell are you supposed to do? The only thing you can do is up and move. And then you're going to uproot your whole family, your life, your job, and everything. What do they expect these people to do?
For what?
You know, come on.
For what?
For their gain.
I mean, this is how much control our government has right now, y'all. I mean, Okay, America is a free place. You're right. We're land of the free.
Are we really?
In certain areas. Are we really free? No, because we gotta, okay, here's the deal. Think about this. All right. So you finally decided, you saved up enough down payment, you're gonna buy a house. Okay. You're all excited. You put your $20,000 down that you've saved up with blood, sweat, and tears over, right? And you buy yourself a house. And then they tell you, all right, you gotta pay the land it sits on. And you're never gonna own the land it sits on. You might
Right.
own the house someday, but you're never gonna own the land it sits on. All right. And then you know what else is going to happen? Because you have a loan and it's our investment, not yours. You got to have house insurance and you've got to have it covered to the max. And you're like, okay, it's almost like a car. I'm going to go buy me a new car. Okay, well, you've got to have the car fully covered. So you get in there and you think, all right, so my house is $100,000. It's going to be probably $1,000. No, it's going to be more like a 1,600 by the time they put on their taxes and insurance skyrockets to no end, which they can't help these people, right? Insurance can't, with all the money we pay on insurance, believe me, I paid my share and threw my big fit over it, and they can't help these people. Oh, because they didn't have
They
insurance.
all paid their insurance, but you know what? You know what the clause is? They don't have flood insurance.
Right.
That's a special policy.
See what I mean? Y'all, wrap your brain around all this. Wrap your brain around all this.
Well, I
Yeah.
told you.
What about all these trailers that FEMA has? These portable trailers that they have that are sitting
They're
in.
all sitting vacant in a vacant land waiting for something. But I think I told you the story that when I did own my own home, I was reading my insurance because somebody had said something about insurance and they're like, well, go look. So I was reading my insurance. Now, I had insurance that covered fire, but it didn't cover water damage to put it out.
Oh, so when your house caught on fire and the fire department came over and sprayed it off, they didn't cover the
Oh
water.
no, this was a previous house that I owned. I had to change my insurance policy. Well, who writes an insurance policy that if you get a house fire, it's covered, but don't call the fire department, let the sucker burn.
Right. And burn the neighbor's house and burn the other neighbor's house. In fact,
Right.
burn the whole block down because we can't put it out because
Right.
you know what? Nobody will get their insurance. This is what I'm saying. Insurance is a scam too, y'all. Figure this out. I was figuring this the other day. All right. So I paid, okay, we went through Harvey, y'all. We got the direct hit of Harvey. Okay. And we were blessed with not as much damage as some people got. I mean, some people lost their whole homes. And then they said, well, you know what? They're not going to rebuild them because they didn't have insurance. Well, I thought you had to have it. I thought it was a must and you had to have it. But anyway, so they came over, picked, and by the time they took the deductible off, I mean, you got to pay a $1,000 deductible. All right. And I had been paying insurance for 15 years before that happened. Okay.
Right.
Wrap your finger. Okay. So I paid almost $45,000 to the insurance company and they sent me a check for 15,000 and said, fix your roof and fix your fence. And I thought, wait a minute, they made out like a bandit. Then this year they skyrocketed it and tried to get away with $6,100 a year. Right. And I was like, well, wait a minute. We haven't had Harvey since 2017 and you want me to, and you start adding it up, I could buy the house outright for what I pay for the insurance after so many years.
Well, they raised my. I told you they doubled my mom's insurance. But when they doubled the insurance, they doubled the deductible. So now instead of $1,000 deductible, she has a $2,000 deductible, but yet the insurance doubled.
See, this is what I'm telling you. It's a scam.
It
It's
is
a
a scam.
scam.
It is a scam.
You know, my mama was in the parking lot. She's never been in an accident in her life. And she was pulling out of her parking place. And this woman went whipping in there as fast as she could. And, you know, at 85, we don't have the reflexes that we do at 30. And she hit her. And my mama, believe me, probably wasn't pulling out very fast. Well, that lady jumped out of the car, ranting and raving and saying, you know, I hope you have insurance to cover my car, right? Yada, yada, yada. My mama was so upset. She was about ready. She was in tears. And I thought to myself, well, maybe you shouldn't have been coming in here like Mario Andretti thinking that no one was going to hit you.
Right.
It's a good thing I wasn't there because I'd have jumped out of the car and said, you know, I think there's a speed limit in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I know.
I mean, people have figured out how to spam and scam us out of our money and scam us. Keep working because you know what? You need to pay this and you need to pay that and you need to pay something else. And your house, well, yeah.
Well, and then, you know, then I laugh because on the news channels and, you know, the government is, oh, beware of this scam, beware of that scam. Bitch, you're the one that's scamming the crap out of us.
Right? I'm not so, at least I can tell the scammers when they call you up on the phone and say, hello, I'm calling to tell you that your house insurance just went up. Why? Well, there's been a lot of hurricanes in your area. Not in my area, there hasn't been. In Florida, there has been. So you're going to tell me I'm paying for Florida?
Right.
Wow.
Do you know most of the insurance and here's another thing. All those people that paid for insurance for years and years and years and years, the insurance companies pulled out.
See, I heard that in Florida that you can't even get insurance in Florida anymore. Now, how can you can't get a bank loan without insurance? So what's that going to do to Florida, y'all? I mean,
okay. Here's another scam I'm going to tell you because talking to you last week, if you remember, we were talking about gas and I said I was going to stop at the one place because here in Michigan, if you pay with cash, you pay 10 cents less a gallon. So if gas is, let's just say $3.09, if you pay cash, you'll pay $2.99 instead of $3.09. But even if you use a debit card, which they get their money instantly, just like cash, there's no fees attached to a debit card. You still will pay the $3.09. Tell me that's not a scam.
I'm telling you, they figured it
gas
out.
station here does it.
They know how to work it. I'm telling you, they know exactly how to work it.
Every gas station here does it. Every gas station here does it.
It's that extra money.
Yeah. $10 a gallon.
Unbelievable.
I mean, 10 cents a gallon. 10 cents a gallon is what they're getting extra.
So figure it. So if you have a 30-gallon tank, that's, well, $3. But you have $3 and Joe Schmo has $3
And every time you fill up your car, if you fill up your tank every week, that's an extra $12 a month.
And that's just you.
Right.
Only one person.
Right.
How many? What's our population? I mean, for God's sake, that's absolutely asinine.
Yep. Yep. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. They scam us every which way we turn. And then, they're going to tell you to be careful of the scammers. Well, you know what? I got news for you. If you got so much money that somebody calls you and says, hey, this is your grandson and I'm in jail and I need money. Well, maybe you should be closer to your grandkids. I don't know. I, I don't know. But if you've got that much money that you can just go ahead and give somebody $2,000 to get out of jail that you don't know for sure if it's your grandson or not.
Oh no, they don't pick on they pick on the old ones. They did that to my mama, and my mama was looking to get the money because she thought it was my son. And my daughter went over there and said, I just saw him last night. Tell him to call me. I'll give him the money. Yeah, right.
Right.
Oh, thank you, KM, ma'am. You know what? I'm going to tell you something here. Let's. I got to tell you a story that happened to me just the other day. Okay, so I went into the Lowe's and I was picking up some stuff. And the man that came over, he said, you look like you're lost. Can I help you? And I said, I no, I don't need any help. Well, I saw on his tag that he was a veteran. All right. And I am a big veteran person. I love the vets.
Right.
You're a vet. Thank you so much for the service of keeping us free, as much freedom as we do have.
Right.
And so I said, I made a comment to him. I said, well, things are going to get a lot better here come January 20th when Trump gets into office. And I swear to you, as sure as I'm sitting here, the man looked me right in the face, rolled his eyes and said, that liar. I'm telling you what, the ground was moving underneath these feet of mine. I started to shake all over, and I thought, dude, you don't want to mess with me because I'll tell you flat straight out that you're an idiot. It won't take me 2 shakes of a lamb's tail to tell you that you better wake the fuck up. Oh, sorry. Anyway.
Right.
I said, very nicely, I said, I will take who we got going into office right now over the one that shuffles his feet and don't know how to tie his shoes and don't know his first name, and the vice president that cackles at everything and insults me that she has to talk to me like I'm a kindergartner. I'll take it any day. And he said, well, she's wants to make she hits everybody on a kindergarten level. You know what? I don't think so. I thought, come on, give me your best shot because I'm ready for you now.
Right.
He goes, well, I think that lady over there needs my help. I said, I think she does too, because she may have a kindergarten education and she may need your help.
Right.
Go help her.
Right.
I was ashamed because I thought, you can't tell me that man that shuffles and walks like that is better than what we got going in. I won't believe that for nothing.
Yeah, you got to tread lightly when you're talking to people, because it's like you get stuff like that. Now, I was lucky enough. I said, I was talking to somebody at the store and I says, well, hopefully things start to get better next year. And they were like, well, let's hope that he can do something and get it done,
Well, that's better than it's not going to happen. He's a big old liar.
Right. Yeah. I knew I was okay with that one, but you got to be careful, because when my mom was having care come to the house for a little bit, I had made a comment about Mr. T. Well, yeah, no, he was not a supporter, and it got very ugly.
Of course, they get ugly when they have their faces and their heads buried so far in the sand that it would take a backhoe to get it pulled out.
Yeah.
I want to look at these people and say, do you have a job? Do you have a job? Do you make enough money? don't tell me, you can't tell me your family is feeling the same way right now as it did 4 years ago. I will not believe that, because they're
Mm-mm.
not.
Mm-mm.
We went from having low income and middle class and high class to high class and low income. The
Yep.
middle class has been wiped off the planet now.
Yep. That's exactly what they wanted to do, even though the middle class, as they put it, is the backbone of this country.
You know
I
what?
wanted to spit nickels every time I heard them say that,
And you know
because
what's
that's true.
the
That's
truth?
true.
The
But you
truth.
didn't care about them.
Oh, they're coming out now, and they're coming out with both barrels, one right after the other. And if you're sitting there going, what? So much is coming out at one time, it's almost blowing your mind.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
I,
Yeah.
and how could it have been in our face so much? That's what kills me. It was in our face. And I remember now, this, guys, think back here. Wasn't it Bush? I know we don't, not the son Bush, not the Papa Bush, and he wanted to make everybody Social Security where you could invest it yourself. Remember this?
Yeah, it's called a 401k.
No. He was going to make it where you could go in and you could invest your Social Security yourself and handle it yourself. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of them was going to
Ran
do that.
on. That's what he ran on. And it still hasn't happened. Because you know why? Because they spent it all. It's got.
Well, why do you think they pushed
Oh,
the
they gave it to the
401ks?
Ukraine. They gave it to the
Why do you think they pushed the 401ks? They're still getting their Social Security, but now you got to put money into a separate thing, so take more money out of your paycheck so that you can retire, because there's no such thing as a pension anymore. Very far and few in between jobs has a pension.
Oh, and there's a better one. Okay. I was around for this. I'm old enough to know this one. When I first got my job, it was federal income tax and Social Security, right? We always knew that was what came out of our, unless you were fortunate to be one of those people that lived in the states that charge state tax. I never, I think
That
only
would be
one.
Michigan.
I think New Mexico was like that too. Colorado tax for everything. But anyway, but so we knew we had to pay these, right? And then all of a sudden, I looked at my check and I thought, what is this $6 for Medicare coming out for? I thought that was all included in my Social Security. Nope.
Right.
That's what. Now we're going to charge y'all $5 extra or $6 or whatever. I think now it's 14. But it's like we got to charge this now for Medicaid or Medicare.
Well, you know what's so funny about that whole scenario? You know what's so funny about that whole scenario is you're supposed to get Medicare, but you don't. You have to pay for it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you have to have a supplemental insurance.
No. They cover part A, and you got to pay for part B.
See, it's all the scam. Where did all this come from?
But you have to have part A and part B.
Y'all, we work our ever loving butt off. And now, by the way, KMM, if you don't know, they just upped the retirement age to 70. Some of us will be lucky if we live to 67 to the first age. But
Right.
now it's 70 before you can retire to get full benefits. Wow. That's all I can say. Just wow. Because, I've been working since I was 14 years old, and you start figuring it up. I'll never see all that money. I'll never live long enough to see all that money. And now you're going to raise it to 70.
Yep. So, is there a retirement age anymore? Really?
Is there a Social Security? Will we ever see a Social Security?
I think
I don't think my daughter will ever see Social Security or my son.
somebody needs to
Oh, gee.
find an attorney that has the cojones
Uh-huh.
and sue the government on fraud for Social Security.
Right?
That's
Oh,
what I
but they won't get anything because there's nothing in that fund anymore. See, that fund used to have a lot of money, and they say, oh, we're never going to touch that money.
That
We're
was when they started Social Security, that was the law. You cannot. So, these boneheads just went in there and changed the laws. Stuff like that should never, ever, ever be allowed to have been done.
Well, and I think that you need to do something and accomplish something to get a raise. And I don't think anyone I've ever met, even the best workers in the world, have ever gotten a 40% raise. I think the biggest raise I ever got was a 3%.
I got 5 one time.
Yeah. So come on. 40%, y'all. 40%. I only know one person that deserves a 40% raise, and that's Jesus. Because I know Nancy Pelosi sure don't deserve no 40% raise.
Now, did you hear she was in the hospital?
Yeah, she fell down the stairs in her stiletto shoes and broke her hip and had a hip replacement. Do you really think she fell down because she was sober?
Right.
Or do you think somebody pushed her down the stairs?
I think an 80-year-old shouldn't be wearing stilettos.
85-year-old wearing stilettos on a marble floor. I wouldn't do that right now.
Drinking.
Oh, and drinking. Yeah, Again, she was on stairs. I mean, that right there is it's disaster. It's going to happen. You're just waiting for it.
At some point in time, I liked my stilettos. I liked my high heels. I liked my platforms.
Sure,
But
sure.
at some point in life, you got to suck it up, buttercup, and go back to the 1 or 2 inch little heels if you can handle it, or flats. I was going to say, if you can handle the 1 or 2 inch, because going out for New Year's Eve and it's like I'm looking for shoes, 3, 3.5, 4, 3, 3.5 inch heels. And it's like, I can't do that. Where are the low heels?
I got to tell you, the last time I put stilettos on, somebody gave them to me. And I put them on. And my friend and I were looking. And I said, here, look, I'm going to wear these shoes. And they were the big, tall 4-inch ones. And I put them on. And I, first of all, looked stupid walking. And second of all, I couldn't help but laugh because I couldn't even get my feet to move. There was just I felt like I was on stilts. I looked stupid. And I said, I got to keep wearing these around the house just to be able to know how to wear them again. I didn't even know you had to walk. It was a certain way to walk in them. No wonder I look clumsy in them.
Okay, guys, it's time to board the plane.
We have seen, you will find underneath your seat a package that you can hand out to these people. Pick your choice, hand them to the kids, do whatever with the special package underneath your seat. We have provided it for you as we are giving out blessings to Asheville, North Carolina, and their family, asking God to give them the help they need at this time.
And let them find some kind of joy at this Christmas season.
Right. So if you'll please board the plane, we have 30 days, y'all. 30 days till our destination. So we will be boarding the plane at this time. If you'll go ahead and take your seats, buckle up. I'll let
make sure you hit the like and make sure you're still subscribed and share.
Right. And make sure you're I'll let you go over the safety rules. I will be getting this bird ready for flight. so we can get to our new destination.
Fasten your seat belts. Put your trays in the upright position. The final, what?
Our final destination is we're not sure yet. Guess
Right.
what? Surprise, just like we were today.
Oh, I had a total brain fart. I apologize, you guys.
It's all good.
So yeah, we'll come through and do a last minute cabin check, and then we'll be taking our seats for departure.
And we will get ready for our destination in 30 days, stopping by a few places so we can go to the inauguration where we will finally get to see the lights. Love y'all.
Good night, everybody.
Have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.
Oh, yeah, don't forget we won't be here Tuesday. It's Christmas Eve. So we have only got 2 more shows till the end of the year.
So we'll be here Monday, and we'll see our destination, and
then we'll be back the next week.
We'll be the next Monday. Y'all have a good weekend. Love y'all. Until
have a safe
Monday,
weekend.
take care.